One mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Yep, Friday, right here on the One Mic with Big Mike show. Heard live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 7 o'clock on Spreaker.com. That is Spreaker.com. Spreaker also has an app available for all your mobile devices in whatever format you may be using, whether it be Windows, Android, or Apple. You can also hear the show live on TuneIn, as well as on my website, One Mic with BigMike.com. You can go on over to the website, check out some of the interviews that I've done over the past year or so. You can also check out some video logs that I've done, some stuff that didn't quite make the show, but still need to be said. I thought should still be said. You can get on over to One Mic with BigMike.com and check that out. If you don't get a chance to stick around for the entire show, if you're here right now, but you might not get a chance to stick around for the entire 2 hours, don't fret. You can get the on-demand episodes of the show, all of them, every last one of them. You can get them on all four outlets that I've already mentioned, or you can head on over to iTunes. You can head on over to iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and of course YouTube, where you can also see the video, the streaming video that I'm doing right now on Facebook Live, facebook.com/One Mic with Big Mike, the number one MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. You can get the on-demand video or audio on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to that YouTube and comment on the content as well. Make sure you subscribe to my iTunes. I guess it's, what do you do with TuneIn? You like TuneIn? Yeah, go ahead and do that. Follow me on TuneIn. I think that's what it is. Follow me on TuneIn and follow me on Google Play Music and the Stitcher, iHeartRadio, whatever thing that you do that's like that thing. Do it with those two as well. Like the Facebook page and also follow me at the number one MIC, WITHBIGMIKE on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to be a part of the show, it's very, very easy. You can text the show at 404-902-8104. You can also jump inside my live interactive chat room. To do so, you have to be listening via Spreaker or, of course, the Spreaker app. Once you do that, you'll see a little thought bubble icon on the streaming player. Also, if you're listening to the show via my website, there'll be a little thought bubble icon. Just click on that situation and it'll get you inside the live interactive chat room. Or if you'd rather be a weirdo and watch me talk, I never understood it. I remember the first time I saw the Tom Joyner morning show, like the video of it, a video stream of it. I was like, are people going to actually watch somebody do radio on television? That was so weird to me, and it's still weird to me right now, even though I do it. I do it now for the convenience. Like, even if I'm like, I have like the new thing that I'm on right now, the Dan Le Batard show. I'm not even really looking at it. I might glance up at it, but I'm more so listening to it while I'm doing other things. But anyway, how did I get on that? Where was I at talking about? If you're a weirdo and you want to look at me do my show, you can go to my Facebook page and check it out there. You can leave comments below the Facebook page, and I will be checking them throughout the show and responding to you and all those good things. All right, so as far as today's show goes, don't blink, because if you do, you might miss the whole damn thing. Ain't gonna be all damn night, man. The Warriors are in Boston taking on the damn Celtics. I got a much improved Charlotte team and Kemba Walker taking on the Hawks tonight. I got some stuff to check out, man. And plus, more importantly, I don't have that much damn stuff to say. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's Friday. I looked and I read, but didn't really a whole lot, catch my attention. So I know, damn it, Renee. Renee's in the chat room. She's reminding me that I say that crap every Friday. I know I do, but this time I'm for real. Like, I'm sitting here looking at my notes right now. They kind of bare. They ain't really full. And look, they're not this dude. Why y'all trying to make me out to be a liar, man? Like, sometimes it get away from me. You know what I mean? Sometimes I open my mouth and then I just start like regurgitating words all over the microphone and it don't stop for 2 hours. But this time I really don't feel like it's going to be that. Like I really, really feel like. So anyway, we got to do on this day, bottom of the hour, no guest today. So bottom of the hour, that's another thing too. No guest. So that's going to take a little, see, cut that little bit off. So bottom of the hour, if you're listening on demand, not live, I'll take a look back into the annals of sports and give you guys some historical tidbits in a segment that I love to call on this day. Also, I started this new thing. Well, anyone knew I've been doing it, but I just didn't name it anything. I call it What You Looking At. So I got some little bullcrap imaging done for it. Not really. It's just like the hook for this song called What You Looking At. I'll try to spruce it up when I have some time. But I got a little something for that as well. I want to tell you guys what the Prez, man. The Prez told Sasha and Malia after Trump won. Yeah. And no, it wasn't like you make sure you keep your coochie covered. It wasn't that. I mean, he might as well told him that. But, you see that dude walking around here, put your hands down low. But it was pretty cool, man. Like, that dude was he's one of the coolest dudes in the world, like president or not, man. He's one of the illest cats out there, for real. Got a couple things I want to get out from the NBA, the National Basketball Association, and Falcons on bye this week, so no need to talk about that. That whatever you want to call it that happened last night on NBC, it was supposed to be a football game, and apparently it was, but we'll talk about it. And then holy smoke, oh man, my guy, Lamar Jackson in Louisville, man, they got it pushed way in. I'm talking like for real, like all the way. You couldn't see any of it left out. They pushed it all the way in. Houston did against Louisville. So all that craziness Bobby Petrino was on, like maybe we're just going to have to go out here and put on a show and show them who, okay. Yeah, talk about it after you do it, B. So we'll talk about that and the ramifications, not really ramifications, but I saw this article today talking about the worst case scenarios for the college football playoffs. So I want to get into that as well. So tonight, it seems like it's a Friday thing. Oh, maybe not forget to mention the question of the day today. The question of the day today was one that just came out of the ether. I wasn't going to do one today. Renee said, Mike, we need a question of the day. And I was like, I don't think we need one because, I mean, inevitably I'm still going to have to turn on the mic and talk with or without it. But all right. So in the process of thinking about a question of the day, I wanted to make the question of the day associated with my lead topic. And it kind of is, to be honest with you. Because I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today. Well, I knew what I wanted to talk about early in the game. But I wanted to make sure I did it right. I try to do it the best I can. And not just BS with it. And I had to go drop a deuce, the early morning deuce, and then I thought about it. I had some points came to me, some good, solid points came to me. And I was like, hey, this is a thing, because this usually happens to me. Like, if I ever have to go, drop a deuce, or if I'm taking a shower, especially when I had the Pandora on, that's when I have, like, some of the best thoughts and, like, the best ideas or whatever come to me. So I was like, maybe I'm not the only one. Thus, the question of the day is, why is it that when you go take a squat, bathroom, go drop a deuce, or you're taking a shower or whatever, why is it that those are the times when you have your best thoughts, your best ideas, and whatnot? I don't think I've ever thought about that, but I think I should. Because I remember when we were doing me and Rob was doing the Sports Kings, I would always forget things. Like, man, I had this awesome thing that I wanted to talk about in the shower, and now I can't think about it right now. And I was like, somebody need to come out with a damn phone that I could take in the shower and like just click my notes on. That might be the only reason. I've had my phone. I got like a Samsung Note 3. Like, they done came out with so many since then. The new ones explode on you. I mean, they like on number 7. So the only reason I might upgrade my joint, man, to be honest with you, is so I can take it in the shower, no doubt. So I can just like put it in a little, whatever, outside the shower door. And when something comes to my mind, look, you're an idiot. Did Renee green light it? Everything is green lighted on this show by me. Yeah. As I point to the marquee and the name on it. Yeah, I did Renee green light it. Boy, thank you, I am no dose. I needed that one today. Today's been a crazy day. So I woke up this morning, right? And this is the One Mic with Big Mike show. If you just now tuning in, or if you hadn't heard the show before, I appreciate you taking the chance of listening to me. It's the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here on Spreaker, the Spreaker app, tune in, and of course the One Mic with BigMike.com website. I'm also streaming live video on Facebook. The Facebook page is facebook.com/1MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. I always spell it out because I don't want people to think it's like, well, what is it? Is it like you spell the number out, ONE, or is it just a number? It's just a number. Feel me? All right. So I woke up this morning, and like the first thing I saw this morning, it just caught me. It was a post on Facebook about Sage Steele. You guys know Sage Steele from ESPN. She did a lot of baseball during the postseason this year, and she usually does the what is it called? The NBA, their version of the pregame and halftime show. It used to be her, Jalen, and Coach Collins, and I like that combination. And I respect Sage's work, especially with that NBA stuff. But for whatever reason, they got like Michelle Beat on there. I'm not really big on that whole thing. They got this new, like, I don't know if you guys have been watching it, but the dynamic is now trying to be like a spinoff of her Sports Nation show, but they're doing it for the basketball pregame, and it's like real whack because they're not really talking ball. They doing all this real wacky, quirky, ridiculous ESPN stuff. But anyway, so I saw this post about Sage Steele saying something. I wish I would have saved the post now because I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was talking about a Facebook post that she posted following a Twitter post that she made. The Twitter post was about, or maybe I should say a tweet. That's the most correct way to say it. A tweet that she tweeted about Mike Evans. When Mike Evans decided that he wasn't going to stand for the pledge anymore, and because of him not standing, she posted this picture of a military cemetery, and saying, you know, if you knew the meaning of diversity and this, that, and the other. Like, I hate when people do that, man. Like, when you gotta start trying to like chop somebody's intelligence down, you're just as high. If you really knew the meaning of the word, LeBron did that the other day with Posse, and he was wrong as hell. You know what I mean? So a lot of people jumped on about that. I think the explanation that was given to me, and I'll give it to you guys in a little bit. A lot of racist people used her posting that to shame Mike Evans, and the way it was put, shame him into backing off of his stance. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. First and foremost, before I read you guys what Sage Steele subsequently in English posted on Facebook, I was like, you can't blame this woman because Mike Evans is a punk. And you can't say that she spurred anything on. Did anyone else watch the Colin Kaepernick situation and that kid Brandon Marshall and all that? Like, those crazy folks was out there anyway. They ain't need Sage Steele. They was gonna holler out flag and troops and everything, every other buzzword they can think of. Anyway, but we'll get to that point here in just a second, because this turned into me. Well, before I get to all that stuff that happened on Facebook earlier, let me give you guys some of the key points to what she said. It's a long ass Facebook post, so I just went through and I highlighted some of the things. One of the first things, she comes out the gate. She titles it diversity. She comes out the gate saying, "I'm a proud." I almost said bisexual, though I think she's not. I don't think she is. She's a proud biracial woman. She says her father is black and her mother is white. I'm such an idiot. Damn it, man. And then she goes on to give her interpretation of the word diversity, or what she feels like happens around the word diversity. She says everyone likes to say it at work, at home, at the podium, at colleges and universities. That how many people of color actually mean it, which I think is a very, very legitimate question. Because I asked this question a couple of weeks ago on my Facebook page. I was like, how many of you, and I've asked it a couple times, I think, like, how many black people would, if you could go back to the time of separate but equal, with the caveat being that the equal part was going to be straight up. You know what I mean? Like, if you had to, I don't know, drink at a different water fountain, but it was the same damn water fountain. It was kept up the same way, or if the school systems were. I mean, the school system right now, if you look, it is still pretty damn segregated. There's an episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver where he kind of breaks it down. Actually, schools ain't really integrated now. Not the ones that most of our kids have to go to. Hell no. But let's say all those things that existed in the 60s existed now, except for, like public transportation and all that kind of stuff. You didn't have to sit in the back of the bus, and now you can sit where you want to. But like other things and resources, bathrooms and things of that nature. Like, you mean to tell me a good portion of you N-words wouldn't go back to that? Like, you would, because I don't care. Like, I don't feel the need to be involved with white America. Like, the problem that exists involves inequality. But if things was actually, like, who would really care? So when people start hollering out diversity this, diversity that, that's not really what you're saying. I don't even think that's what they were saying in the 60s. They were saying, we want in. That right there, what you got, that place that you're able to go and where you're able to sit, I want to be able to go and sit there too. Not, why don't you just give us our own bus, our buses or whatever, and we'll just ride where we want to in those buses and make sure they kept up the same way that the white people buses are. I don't know why that wasn't a thing, but I've talked to older black people, and if you talk to somebody that grew up in that time, a lot of them might tell you that some missteps were taken in that type of attitude, because a lot of thriving black businesses that were around in that time, they died because, guess what? Black people were given another option. And I'm not going to say it's just a people's problem. At some point, you got to do your thing too. And I say that all the time on this show. Like, don't just expect me to come to your spot just because you black like I am. Nah. I still want good service, cuz. You know what I mean? I want it to be good. The same way I don't want pissy service and a good venue at a white spot or a predominantly white spot. I don't want, like, pissy service and just black service. Pissy service that's black at another spot. Nah, I'm good, dude. You know what I mean? Go to a black restaurant and let the person serving you your food not have no gloves on and say something to them. Like, bro, can you put some gloves on? Watch the look you get. I know I'm painting with a pretty broad brush, but I'm just saying try it out. He may be like, oh, my bad, dog. Or he may be like, that one. Give you that side eye real quick. So anyway, she goes on and she says, in light of recent events around the country, around the country and personally, I feel the time is now to speak upon this issue. She had talked about, kind of speaking on the issue little by little here and there. But, I guess people coming at you about your opinion as it regards somebody, standing or sitting for the flag is enough to get you to, now say, look, MFers, this is who I am. This is what I do. So she says, black people continue to cry for racial equality, diversity, and acceptance, and rightfully so. But she gives this point, and I want you guys to listen to this. We shun those within our own race who think differently, or marry outside of our race, or vote differently, or have quote-unquote good hair. And she put it in quotation marks, not saying, oh, look at my hair, it's so good, as in a mocking way. You know what I mean? That mocking good hair thing. I'm pointing all these things out to you because I'm gonna read you guys another writing, kind of combating this one. And I feel like there was a lot of personal things in it. Like, it has like a personal undertone to it, but I'll get to it here in just a second. So she talked about her mom and how strong her mom is, her mom being a white lady, that her mom went against her parents and married a black man. And she says, instead of rolling your eyes at her black father for selling out, shouldn't you be praising my white mother for following her colorblind heart and not succumbing to the pressures of American society back then? Now, I want you guys to also take note of something else. She's not telling a story. These are her personal accounts of something. This is her story, her life. That's why I named the episode what it is, that your story is not my story. So this is not her like giving an opinion piece on things that she thinks have happened. She's talking about people rolling their eyes at her dad when they see her dad with her mom. This is her experience. Like, how can anyone discount that? And just immediately be like, look at her, shouting out her mama, but not her daddy. coon. That's been the thing. That's like the first thing. Like you reach for that. Reach down in the bag and the first thing you bring out is coon, Tom. How? More on that later. She talks about the all-knowing looks of disgust and calling me a sellout when they see pictures of her and her white husband. Again, her experiences. She says, shouldn't you be praising that white boy? And then again, in quotation marks, that white boy, apparently, because I know I say it all the time, the white boy from Indiana who followed his colorblind heart and married into a biracial culture completely different from his own. Like, I think these are very valid points, man. Because I've said it before many times on this show, you Negroes can continue to fool yourselves into thinking that racial things change in this country because black folks just want them to change or black folks made them change. Things change in this country and white folks get ready for them to change. Like Abraham Lincoln and them started a war over slavery while he had slaves at his crib still. You dig what I'm saying? So how much are you really against it, my man? Or is it that you just have an ulterior motive that slavery is holding up? We got that's the real deal in this country, man. Nothing goes in the other direction without the people who are, what are they? What did I say the other day? 63% of the population saying so. And probably a larger percent than that of the people who actually have control of the laws and of the policies. It's got to be a larger number than that. You saw that. Yeah, did y'all see that picture of what's the kid's name? Mike Pence. That's that selfie. I guess supposedly, exemplifying all the diversity. And it was like all white men and like a couple of white women. And like at the very, 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 very back. You guys can go to my Facebook and check it out. Very back. There's like one black dude who looked like he's trying to escape actually. And they just keeping him in there like, stay, Jerome. So then she goes on and makes this point. Try to get, you mother effers. You might be right. This might take the whole damn show. Crap. She says racism is racism. When you call me a sellout or a coon or an Uncle Tom, you lose every ounce of credibility with those whom you deem racist at the drop of a hat. Like, that's an interesting concept to me. Black on black racism. I was talking one time to my man, Wade Davis. Wade Davis, if you guys don't know, is an openly gay man who played in the NFL. He's a self-proclaimed feminist, and he goes around the country trying to empower women and stuff like that. Doing speaking engagements. I think I just saw he just signed like a modeling gig or an acting gig. One of the two, some sort of entertainment situation. So big up to Wade Davis, friend of the show. And he hit me to that same type of theory within the gay community. Like, me being the ignorant me that I am, I was talking about Michael Sam, saying that he's not accepted. He don't feel like he's accepted in the gay circles or in the straight circles. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I thought like once you just declared that you prefer penis over vagina, it was kind of like you're in the club. And Wade was like, nah, it don't work like that. He gave this example. He said, just like in the black community, how there were certain people who ain't black enough and certain people who think they're super black. There are those lines of deviation within the community, and I was like, okay, you gave me the perfect example because I understand exactly what you saying, and I ain't know that. So shout out to Wade, he educated me on that big time. Still seems weird though. I'm just gonna say it just seems weird. It's not like with like if you're a black person and you like chicken or you don't like chicken. It's like kind of like the penis thing seems to be like the like the end all be all. Like once I decided, you know what, I prefer penis, and then I probably shouldn't be saying it that way because never mind. It just seems like you're in the club then. Like you're that's what your thing is, and I guess everybody who's in that realm of life don't see it that way. You got to have other credentials. I don't know what they would be, but I'm not even sure that I want to know what the other credentials may be to be a part of that club. So anyway, she goes on to say, and I'm going to finish reading her stuff, and then I'll come back on the other side of the break. God, this is going to take longer than I thought. It seemed like it was in my mind, it seemed like it was going to take a lot less time to happen. Anyway, so many of us actually have to fight back against what? Against other within, or others, it's supposed to be others within our own race is incomprehensible. She talks about black people being accountable for their own actions. I'm all about that life too. You know what I mean? Like, there are conversations to be had about the things that go on in our community. To me, a lot of times it boils down to the timing. You know what I mean? Like, when, like, after Alton Sterling gets shot by the police, murdered by the police, cuz don't tell me about black on black crime. Like, if you care about it, you know what? You should care about it the day before that kid got murdered. Like, don't use it for no convoluted argument the day after. You know what I mean? Like, that's my problem. Because you don't really care about it. You just need something to stand on in your wrongness. So, yeah, it's cool for us to have this conversation and be accountable for our communities and the things that go on in our communities. But then the hard part has to happen after that. And this is where white people come in. Because if a white person says, well, look at all the black on black crime. All right, Bree, tell me what the crime is about. Drugs, poverty, lack of opportunity. Now, let's talk about why that is. Oh, now you tight-lipped. Nobody, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody got no conversation then. So, yeah, we can always have a conversation about black on black crime, but then we got to have a conversation about why. Now, that's the hard one, because that's the one that got the white fingerprints all over it. You tried to rub them away and wipe them clean, but they still there. They're going to be there. They've been there for 400 years. So it's a twofold thing. Yes, she's absolutely correct. That as black people, we should be more accountable and take some accountability for the things that happen, you know, in the lives of other black people. But that don't take, you know, white America off the hook. And I think sometimes a lot of white people think it does. Well, I mean, when you look at the percentages of how many black people kill black people, compare that to how many white cops kill black cops. All right, B, keep it moving, man. You just don't want to accept that it's a thing. And that's fine. Now you've been identified. I know how to deal with you moving forward. And, you know, since getting mad and all that. And then here's another place. Somebody asked me today on Facebook, like, name one thing you disagree with her on, or you agree with her on. I think I've named like 4 so far, but here's another one. We can disagree and still be civil. How many times y'all hear me say that? Yeah, I don't have to be in your tribe or on your team or in your crew for us to be civil with each other. But cats want to, you know, I got I guess not accused of. That's not the word. It was intimated that I was also a coon. Well, it looks like she ain't the only coon on this post on Facebook. And I was like, is that where things have devolved now? Like, we back in 3rd grade, like, you know, you're a coon. Well, your mama. That's supposed to be my response, I guess. I'm like, come on, B. I'm way too grown. I'm way too much of an adult. She says, in big letters, embrace diversity. I don't agree with that. I don't have to embrace no damn diversity. Like, look, dude, if I want to just hang around with a bunch of black folks, I'd do that. You know what I mean? Because most of you are around white people because you have to. Like, you got to go to work or you got to go. Like, that's what you have to do, you know, in your daily life. But for most people, Martin Luther King said the most segregated time on this earth is Sunday morning, or in this country. It's on Sunday morning. You know why? Because at 11 o'clock. No, he said at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. Because all y'all you go to your white church. The white people go to their black church. Or, you know what I'm saying. I said it opposite. To black people go to their black church, and the white people go to their white church, and so forth and so on, man. So, yeah, if you when given a choice, that's exactly what you do. You go hang out with the people who look like you, who think like you, who believe like you, who you feel accepted by. So now I don't have to embrace diversity. You know, I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm all for it. You know, I feel fortunate this show in particular, you know, that I mentioned Wade Davis, the homegirl, Caitlyn Jenner. She's a friend of the show, transsexual sports writer. You know, of course, black people. I got my white folks that I entrust my thoughts in. I can mess around with and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm with it. But if it didn't exist, I'd still be cool. Like, I still got to get up in the morning and do my thing. And the last thing she says here is have more open-minded, non-judgmental, and healthy conversations. I totally agree with that. I talk about it all the time, man. Be willing to have a conversation with somebody before you just dismiss them as this thing or that thing and then move on. Because at the end of the day, you say somebody's a coon, right? What got accomplished? What got accomplished? You call some white boy a cracker. That white boy calls you a nigga. What gets accomplished then? Like, do you trust white people more after that or less? You think that you think Sage Steele like loves you idiots more or less after that? It's just further divisions. Thus, my statement that I always make is that ain't nothing gonna change in this country, man. Just do the best you can. Ain't no more progress to be had by black folks. Crazy? Yeah. You took a step forward with Barack. It took 20 steps back immediately. Yeah, cuz we're going to come back. I'm going to give you the rebuttal to this on the other side of the break, as well as do my look back into the annals of sports called On This Day. It is the One Mic with Big Mike show here on Spreaker.com. I'm also on the Spreaker app, live on TuneIn, and my website, OneMicWithBigMike.com as well.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at OneMicWithBigMike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Hey, Nick Cannon here. So, of course, we all know there's lots of talent in America. But unfortunately, there's something else we've got way too much of. Childhood hunger. 17 million kids struggle with it in this country. But here's the thing. This problem is entirely solvable. Seriously, we already produce more than enough healthy, nutritious food in this country to feed every single last one of those hungry kids. We just need a way to get it to them. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks is out there every day gathering surplus food to give hope to hungry kids and their families all across the country. But they need your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mic.
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
With Big Mike.
We're going to skate to one song only.
Welcome back to the Friday edition of the One Mic with Big Mike show. Heard live on Spreaker, SPREAKER.com. Spreaker also has an app, as well as the TuneIn app and my website, OneMicWithBigMike.com. Make sure you guys are signing up for your free Spreaker account. Just copped a couple new followers in the last few weeks on Spreaker. So I guess I got to keep mentioning this. Yeah, sign up for Spreaker, just like signing up for any other social media account. But the thing is, once you do that, you can follow my show, One Mic with Big Mike, and then get alerts every time the show goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Shout out to Kanye, by the way, too. Kanye came out like, I ain't vote, but you know what? I would have voted for Donald Trump. Y'all got to stop entertaining that dude, man. That dude knows exactly what he's doing. Y'all cats are like, see, F Kanye. That's why he trashed. That's why his music trashed. Meanwhile, he's carrying Adidas. you MF, every time them Yeezy boots come out, you can't wait to go spend your whole check on them. Yeah, man, y'all gotta stop. I ain't saying stop like messing with Kanye, but you gotta stop entertaining it. Man, he's like a bad kid. Like the more the more attention you give it, excuse me, like the more he feels like he got an audience, and he does, man. So that dude's gonna say like wacky, crazy, ridiculous. I ain't vote, but if I did, shout out to Yeezy, man. Let's talk about in the first segment of the show, talking about I guess a Facebook post that I ran across earlier today pertaining to Sage Steele of ESPN, and the post was actually written by Robert Littall. You guys may know him from Black Sports Online. I tend to read his stuff sporadically. He's not a part of my daily reading, but I come across things that catch my attention every now and then from him, and I check him out. I think it's cool what he did with that whole situation. The boldness to call it Black Sports Online, and it seems to be very, 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 very successful for him. But there's parts of what he had to say, and I'm gonna read them to you, and it just, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. It has a very, very like personal temperature to it. It's like there's something else attached to this that we don't know about, And we'll get into it here in just a second. Don't forget, you can also reach me by text if you want to let your thoughts be known at 404-902-8104. You can jump inside my live interactive chat room, the big homie. I am No Dose, of course, the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Renee Cooper is also in that joint. All you got to do is click that little thought bubble icon you see on the streaming player if, in fact, you're listening via Spreaker or the Spreaker app or my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. You can also check me out on Facebook. I'm doing a Facebook Live video stream like I do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can leave your comments below that. It is facebook.com/onemicwithbigmike, so you can check all that situation out there as well. But before we move on, I got to take a look back and do this thing I do each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday called On This Day.
Now, let's take a look back.
On this day.
All right. Got to go ahead and blast this off. You're right, Renee. It does always take longer. And that is also what she said. On this day in 1949, Jackie Robinson, the great Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers, is named the National League's most valuable player. The Major League Baseball just gave out their most valuable players. Who was it? Chris Bryant from the Cubs, second year in the league. And another young superstar, Mike Trout, got his second MVP yesterday as well. So shout out to them. That's about as much baseball you're going to get from me until the Braves get good again. Feel me? On this day in 1951, Chuck Connors of the Los Angeles Angels became the first player to oppose the Major League Draft. Connors later became the star of the television show The Rifleman. I wonder, is Chuck Connors, because you remember Chuck, what was Chuck Persons? They call him the Rifleman from the freaking Pacers back in the day. I wonder if Chuck Connors was a black dude. Like, he opposed this draft situation. That sounds like something Bruz would do in 1950. Like, I ain't taking this no more, white man. I'm going to star in this damn blaxploitation movie, The Rifleman. I don't know. I don't know if it's blaxploitation. It just, I'm just, in my mind, Chuck Connors is a bruh. I don't know. On this day in 1985, oh, here's something for the people who love gruesome stuff. Joe Theismann of the Washington Redskins broke his leg. No, back up. Lawrence Taylor broke his damn leg. He ain't break nothing. Lawrence Taylor snapped that damn dude's leg. Probably was high off that damn cocaine. The injury ended Theismann's 12-year NFL career. Yeah, if you want to see some gruesome stuff, yeah, watch that. It would only been more gruesome if, like, LT would have just looked down and just vomited inside the wound created by the broken bone. And then vomit get inside his damn wound. Oh, my man Goff used to call that injury porn. On this day in 1985, finally, pitcher, 20-year-old Doc Gooden, speaking of cocaine and crack, Doc Gooden of the New York Mets, and 21-year-old Brett Saberhagen of the Kansas City Royals. I'm just going to assume that Brett was on the cocaine, too. And just leave Doc out there by himself. They both won the Cy Young Award, the youngest players in their respective leagues to win the pitching honor. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your final rendition of On This Day for the week. All right, back to what I was saying about Sage Steele. Damn it, man, I hate you, MFers. This is really going to be longer. Like, I read all this stuff like a million times there. I was like, it ain't going to be that long. I'm going to say what I got to say. We're going to hang up and go home. So it's just, that's the Negro in me, like, I'm usually better with time. Like, I'm never late to stuff. I'm always on time stuff. I don't believe in that CP time crap. But for whatever reason, man, like, when it comes to, I don't know. Anyway, so I mentioned Robert Littal, right, from blacksportsonline.com. Again, I've read this thing like 4 times. And that's the other thing that happened today. Like, people think like I'm definitely not that dude. Like, people will do that a lot where they won't read something and want to, like, have a debate, or they haven't even seen what you're talking about, but, like, want to, like, debate you on the merits of what you're saying. They're like, I bet you ain't even read it. I'm like, yeah, cuz I read it. I'm on the 4th time right now, and I'm highlighting excerpts of it. Like, play with somebody else, kids, man. Not my mama's children. Like, I'm better than that. So anyway, it starts off saying Sage Steele tweeted without warning or provocation at Bucks Mike Evans. Now, you guys, if you listen to the show, you know how I feel about that crap Mike Evans pulled, but I think this is before he decided that he wasn't going to sit down for the pledge no more. My man came out, he was like, look, this is wrong, and I'm going to sit down. He's the president-elect, and I won't stand until he's gone. which apparently was one day. That decision lasted one day. So he continues with, Trump supporters and racists took the tweet as a vessel to harass Mike Evans to the point he ended his protest. I just want you guys to let that sink in for a minute. That the Trump supporters and racists took Sage Steele's tweet and used that to apparently turn Mike Evans into a huge gaping vagina. That's the equation that was just put together in front of me. Sage Steele tweets plus racist Trump supporters equals Mike Evans transforming into a huge vagina. Cool. Cool. Many minorities were upset with Steele and called her out. So then now here's the other part of the social media shaming or whatever the hell you want to call it, that ridiculousness. Here's the other thing too. If you go and look at the post, yeah, a lot of ignorant ass black folks was like, F you and that, but then there was some that were very rational and said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And before I move on this, can I mention something real quick? I do this from time to time. I bring you guys in on like the inner workings of the show, and there's sometimes like where Renee will say something to me, and I literally don't understand where she's coming from. And that's why I'm glad, man, that she's my partner in this, because I'm the first person to admit I don't know everything. So sometimes, man, the rifleman was a white dude. Yeah, thanks, Renee. Now, what's the next thing you gonna tell me? Santa Claus don't exist? Damn it, man. Anyway. So one day, me and Renee, I forget what we were talking about, Renee, but you brought up to me that you said something about the things that biracial people go through in the black community. And I said, I honestly had no idea what she was talking about, because, like, I grew up in Decatur, so when, like, the light-skinned chicks would be at school, or the light-skinned dudes, like, all the chicks wanted to mess with the light-skinned dudes, like, we wanted to mess with the the light-skinned curly chicks. And I was like, it was always this thought process, like, you know what I mean? Like, these cats got it made. You know what I mean? They all light-skinned and pretty with little light eyes and all that. And then she mentioned, like, some, like, of course, people before my time, obviously, because there is that concept of you not being light enough to be white, but you not being dark enough to be black. But I didn't think that was a thing that was something that was prevalent, because me and Renee are essentially the same age. Like, so when she talks about things that she's experienced, I should be able to freaking relate, because we're all right at the same age. So when she said that, I was like, but the thing is, like, Renee is from Flint and I'm from Decatur, like I mentioned. So these are the things that I'm talking about. When Sage Steele's talking about diversity, it's not just about white and black people. She's talking about something that's real, because Renee hit me to something that I was like, wait, light-skinned cats was catching wreck? Like, damn, like, it was us in, like, 89, before Big Daddy Kane and Wesley Snipes. It was me, the African booty scratcher, Tar Baby, that whole, yeah, like that whole, like, chocolate man thing. Yeah, they ain't come till, like, the 90s hit. In the 80s, bruh. Yeah, monkey and all that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that we caught. We was jealous of the light-skinned dude. We just want to beat them up. But not because they was light-skinned or biracial. It's because they got all the damn girls. I mean, and we felt like they weren't tough and they were too damn pretty. But anyway, so moving forward, like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, these are different experiences through different people who are of the same race. Until someone hears Renee in her white voice. Like, when she forget to turn her white voice off, she get tired of people calling her white girl. I told her you need to use that damn Flint voice more. Use that one. Be no mistaking at all. Like, I know exactly where she's from. She's from someplace where people are actually mad as hell because they poisoning water. So Rob goes on. Rob Latal, not my partner, Rob Calloway, who, by the way, brings us our question of the day each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from our sportsnewsandbrews.com. He also does the HBCU report on Spreaker at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. So everybody who's into your graduates of your HBCUs, or if you're interested in the HBCU culture and things that are going on sports-wise, sometimes socially, with your historically black colleges and universities, Rob Calloway got you covered front to back, feel me? And then here's where I kind of get real irpy about the situation, because when my man starts trying to tell me what old girl means and what she's saying, as though her word, like this is a real ass journalist. So like I'm gonna give her the credit of someone who ain't me, who would just like bang out some tweets real quick and don't care about no spelling or punk, none of that. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt that she knew exactly what she was saying, but he goes on to try to interpret further what she was saying. In Steele's mind, it's black people's fault it isn't happening. Diversity isn't happening. I'm gonna ask you guys. Big L's in the building. You know, Renee's up in here. My man, I am no doze. Let me check and see who's on the Facebook situation. Nobody checking in on the Facebook situation yet. But I'm gonna ask you guys, man. Do you feel like black people have a responsibility in moving racial diversity forward? You know what I mean? I do. You know what I mean? And you guys hear me talk about it all the time, man. Just having conversations. Like, one of my white buddies asked me one time, I swear this be the truth. He's like, Mike, do I smell like wet dog when I get when I get wet? This was years ago, and it's still like mad funny because it was like mad uncomfortable for me when he said it. And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, because black people say that white people smell like wet dog when we like come out of the rain or whatever. And after I got through laughing, I was like, you know what, man, I appreciate you doing that, man. I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to ask me that, man, and understand that we can actually have a serious conversation about that after I'm done laughing. So I'm big on that type of thing. Like, the thing that makes you the most uncomfortable, you should have someone or enough people in your circle that are different than you that you can pose those questions to. And not lean on your own understanding with things that you won't have an understanding of. But I think so many times we do, especially now with Facebook and social media, it's all about stand on your side of the bridge and just yell at the other person from the other side. And you over here on your side of the bridge with all the people who think like you do. And they on the other side of the bridge with all the people who think and believe the stuff that they do. And at the end of the day, all you end up being is a group of people yelling at each other. Simple and plain. So when she says, you know, or when he says about her that she's saying it's black people's fault, I read you guys in the last segment what she said, that there should be some personal accountability. Like, who doesn't believe, like, what grown person doesn't believe in that? And just the personal accountability of the things that happen, or a lot of the things that happen to me in my life, I just got to eat them. You know what I mean? For whatever reason they're happening. Yeah, it's America, and America was founded on a lot of bull, genocide, slavery, all of the above. But here we are. Here we are. Yeah, we got to, I mean, there are people who want to continue to work and find a way around that, and I applaud them. I applaud people who have the hope and the faith that things are going to get better. I do. But while that's happening, you can't just sit around and be like, man, I can't wait for these white people, man, to just come to their senses and figure out, man, that slavery junk was wrong. I need my 40 acres and my mule. Nah, no, you don't. You know, because you ain't gonna know what to do with it when you get it now. That's an antiquated notion of other things and people, reparations. We need money. And I saw something on social media the other day. I guess someone calculated how much money that each black person or each what am I trying to say? Each relative of slaves, for lack of a better phrasing, how much money they would get. And I'm like, all right, like, call me when the line start. You know what I mean? I'm going to try to be there, get my check, but I ain't going to wait on it. Like, I got to get mine. I got to do what I can, you know, to better myself every day. And I think that's the part of the personal accountability, because I ain't always been this guy. Like, young Mike was that dude that was like, man, these damn crackers and all this kind of stuff. The day before I went to school, my school, I went to school in Cookeville, Tennessee, right? So the day we had to report for fall camp, I'm this little black kid from Decatur. Now, I told you guys this before, that I felt like I needed to go to a white school, because I ain't have none experience with white people. And I remember talking to one of my coaches, and he would always talk about, you know, white folks this and white folks that. And I'd be like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. So, well, that and my recruiting trip to Tuskegee was trash. And, like, I think that was the only black school. Oh, yeah, and then Savannah State decided that I guess they made the decision up for me that I wasn't going to come to the school. And I wasn't. I was going to go to the recruiting trip, though, because I heard it was, like, the illest recruiting trip ever. Right on the beach down there in Savannah. The bras was real cool with everything, but they pulled the offer late. So those are the two black schools I had on the table. And I made a decision I wasn't going to go to either one of those schools. I ended up at Tennessee Tech University. It's in Cookeville. We used to call it Crackerville, just to give you an impression on what I'm saying to you. And the day before we drove up, my pops and my moms drove me up, I went and saw Time to Kill. The Samuel, I meant to shoot him and I hope they burn in hell or whatever he said. Yeah, that movie. So the whole time I'm riding up there, I got an attitude. I'm like, one of these white boys going to make me whoop they ass. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's going to happen. First day, Pop's going to have to turn right back around and come get me. I ain't know nobody up there, but I'm just already in my mind psyching myself up. But, I got there and I learned some stuff, man. Look, Renee, don't talk about my school. I ain't saying nothing bad about Savannah State. I said I wanted to go to the trip. I didn't want to go to the school, but, I wanted to go on the recruiting trip because I heard it was the illest thing. Like the dude who came before me that went down there and, yeah, it was like some Jesus Shuttlesworth stuff going on in that joint. So yeah, my bigger point is this though. My bigger point before I get too sidetracked is that like there is a place for diversity in your life, man. And sometimes you have to force it on yourself. Like with anything, it's better for you to do it than someone to make you do it. And then when I got to school, the good thing about it was I was playing ball, so it's a different environment than just I believe than if I were just to go to school, because it's a much more relaxed thing. People say things that if you heard them say it in the street, you might look at them and say it's racist. If you didn't know the person, they said the white dude that said it. But you know the person, you eat with them, you hang with them, and you understand that a lot of times white people don't know what you know or don't know what you feel. And you got to be able to talk. You got to be able to articulate your feelings, not this whole bullcrap that, how don't you know? Well, hold on, do you know? If you do, articulate it to them. Because at the end of the day, all you're doing at that point is just removing the excuse. Like if some white person don't know something was racist, that's their thing. They're saying they don't know it's racist, and then you tell them, and then they do it again. Well, you've eliminated the excuse that I didn't know. Now you just being an a-hole. You being a racist a-hole now, and you know it. And then from that point on, you know how to deal with that person going forward. But just going around assuming that white people understand the black story, the black experience, because there's so many of them. And I think this situation with Sage Steele is a perfect example of that. Her story may not be your story. It ain't my story. Both my parents, my dad, black as hell. You looking at me. If you're looking at me on Facebook.com/One Mic with Big Mike, yeah, they don't really get too much blacker. So I don't know her story. But I can hear it and I can appreciate it for what it is, because there is a struggle to be had within what she is going through. She's biracial. In this country, black. She's a woman. She's working in one of many male-dominated fields. And succeeding, by the way. You know what I mean? Succeeding at one of the highest levels. This bro was covering the damn Cubs Indians World Series. Yeah, I think that's something that you shout out about, man. You can shout out to her about that. Whether you agree with her position on this particular matter or not, for all the people who got hope for progress and all that, she's a living embodiment of it. But see, what gets told to me, and it'll be, I'll finish reading this because you'll hear it in this piece. See, he does the opposite. He goes from not the what about black on black violence when she's talking about her situation with her mom and her dad and those things. This is where my man decides he wants to go with it. He says when a black person is killed by the cops, and they bring up black on black crime is what I'm trying to say. They focus on every single thing the black person has ever done. And then he goes on to say prominent black people will always have a voice in the media because it is a way to discourage diversity, equality, and not encourage it. And here's where I can agree with him on, because I've been in this business for a while, man, since 2001. I've been in the sports side of it since 2006. Yeah, since 2006. So I see what he's talking about. I worked at a place where, yeah, there's people who look like they pass the color test, the eye test, but their thoughts and the things that come out of their mouth and the way it comes out of their mouth, that's one of the illest things to me, because Sage still talks about that too. People talking about the way she talks. And I don't have no problem with the way people talk necessarily, but I always get like taken aback when I hear somebody on the air, and then I have a conversation with them, and it's like you two different people. Where, like, how is that a thing? Either you putting on for these white folks, or you putting on for me. Either way, stop it. But a lot of times it's that industry pressure to sound like the people who are most successful in an industry like sports talk radio. It's white people that are the most successful, so you end up having to talk like them, and speak and articulate the way they do. I had a boss tell me one time, my last boss tell me, when I told him, like, that ain't my bag, man. I just want to be me. I just want me being me to be good enough. I can't be. And I was talking about a guy that I work with named Jamie Dukes, another cat named Carl Dukes. And I was like, I can't be those cats. Like, whatever it is that they kind of like snap into when the microphones go on, I don't have that type of suit to put on. Like, I just come how I am. That dude looked me in my eye and said, I think you can. I was like, well, then this conversation got to be over with then. We can't have no conversation if what you're telling me is that you need me to be a different person, which would then cause me to have like different ideologies and different thoughts. That can't be a thing, cuz. And I don't know how that changes. Maybe it changes the way I'm changing it right now. Just doing my own thing, you know? And the people who like it, and the people who can understand what I'm saying, because I don't think I'm speaking no damn other language. But if the people who can't understand it, it ain't for them then. And that's just how it's got to be. So anyway, my man goes on to say, he talks about her mentioning or not mentioning her black father, and saying that how, you know, she would expect people to praise her white mother during that typical time. He says he's the one who could have been killed. See, I have a problem here too. Like, it's because it feels like my man wants to be offended for her dad. Like, if her dad is cool with her saying that and bigging up her moms, like, how you so offended? Okay, yeah, her dad could have been killed for a relationship with a white woman. But things happen to white. One of the most monumental parts of the civil rights movement was when them white boys got killed in Mississippi. Remember that? They was all rolling down there on the bus or whatever, and they pulled them off the bus. They took them in the woods and killed them and the black boys. Yeah. Like, there was white folks that got their asses handed to them too during this type of stuff. Because like I said earlier, it don't change in this country without them. You know what I mean? Because if that was the case, you know what would have happened when the first ship landed on wherever it landed in this country full of Africans? They'd have been like, nah, take us back. If they had the choice. But they didn't. Slavery wouldn't have lasted the centuries and decades or whatever it was as long as it did. If the black folks had the choice, it was white folks that was like, all right, it's time to move on. We got to do some more, we got to do stuff with industry and technology. These slaves are kind of, passe. You know what I mean? It was white boys that did that. The black cats would have ended it after the first, no, not even after the first day, before the first day started. So he talks about there only being a passing mention of her black father. Sage clearly states, he says she clearly states, black people are the problem. Now, I read to you dudes and girls in the first segment, what she wrote verbatim. You ain't hear nothing about her clearly saying black people are the problem. Like that, that's irresponsible. You can't, now he didn't put it in quotes or anything, but when you say clearly states, you know what I mean? You go back and you look for it like, damn, did she? No, she didn't. So anyway, he talks about being colorblind and being blind to color. And there being a difference. There's not. There's not a difference. Second of all, no one's colorblind unless you're actually colorblind. You know what I mean? You see people's color. You see a white boy. You see a Mexican person. You see a black person. You see the color. It's just a matter of what your reaction is to seeing that color. You know what I mean? That's what it is. Like all that foolishness that people talk about, no, I don't see color. Yes, you do. If you can see, you do. All you're trying to say is that you don't react negatively just because someone is the a certain color of skin. And that's not something that many people can say. You know what I mean? Straight up, black or white, towards black or whites. So anyway, let me finish this up, move on to the second hour of the show. F you guys. You can't run away from who you are. As if your family is, and he talks about her talking about her family as if her family is better than any other family. I think most people do, to be honest with you. I think it's an issue because her family includes a white man and 2 mixed kids. But I think most people who talk about, most moms especially, when they talk about their families, like, I hope my woman talk about me like I'm better than any other N-word around here. I would hope so, and I hope y'all too. You know what I mean? If you got a woman, I would hope you guys think that she would speak that way about you guys. He says she doesn't want to be seen as black. See, again, you're assuming what she wants, and she ain't say none of that, and that's a problem to me. That's a huge problem to me. She doesn't want to be seen as black. She believes black people are causing their own problems, and she wants it to be known. She wants to be known as a proud biracial. No problem there either. Like, loving the black part of you doesn't mean you have to hate the white part of you. And we'll get into that a little bit more in the second hour because I'm running over right now. One last thing, he goes on to brag about his bachelor's and his master's degree and building a business from scratch. Like, to me, that doesn't sound any different than what she's doing with her family. It's something that you're proud of. And then he goes on to say, you think any of that matters to cops when they pull me over, or the white people following me in the store? No, it doesn't. But that ain't her problem, and she's not saying. I don't know, man. Like, putting those instances on her in her tweet, it's so irresponsible in so many different ways to me, man. So he says, I'm not going to praise your white mother because she wasn't the one in danger of being hung from a tree. That's not factual at all. Let me tell you what, I'm going to take a break because I'm running over. I'm going to take a break real quick, come back, and I'll read the rest of this stuff to you and then continue the conversation here. On the One Mic with Big Mike show here on Spreaker.com. I'm on the Spreaker app as well as on TuneIn. And, of course, One Mic with Big Mike.com. Check out the live video stream. It's going on right now on Facebook.com/One Mic with Big Mike.
Well, I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
One Mic.
All I need is one mic.
What's the name of the show?
One Mic with Big Mike.
You know, ain't nobody getting hurt, ain't nobody, there's no crime being committed.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
This is real life stuff that's happened to me.
Well, you know what?
You, and you.
One Mic with Big Mike.
I like to be able to do what I want to do.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limits.
Meek Mill's concert is not called the Hell Yeah, I Bang Khloe Kardashian concert.
And now, your host.
Put your hands together for the one, the only
Big Mike.
All I need is one
Mic. We up in here, man. It's a Friday, the end of the week. A lot of y'all, man, gonna have a week off next week. It's American Genocide Day next Thursday. I'm just renaming all the holidays in America. Well, it was Columbus Day was go to somebody's house, just sit your ass in there and tell them it's yours because you discovered it day. Yeah, this is American Genocide of the Natives Day on Thursday. So yeah, a lot of y'all that's in the what is it called? The education field. Y'all gonna have the week off next week. So shout out to you, man. Big up to you. I'm here, man. Spreaker.com. Make sure you guys are signing up for your free Spreaker accounts. You guys can also download the Spreaker app from all your app stores and whatnot. Also, if you got the TuneIn app, I'm live there as well as on my website, onemicwithbigmike.com, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also, if you didn't get a chance to hear the entire show, the first hour, you can also get the show on demand on all of those outlets as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music. And you can get the audio and video of the show on video. The video is streaming right now on Facebook, facebook.com/One Mic with Big Mike. If you want to be a part of the conversation, I do definitely invite you to be. You can text me at 902 or 404, 902 8104. You can also jump inside my live interactive chat room by clicking that little thought bubble icon that you see on the streaming player, only if you're listening via Spreaker or the app or my website. Also, make sure you click that little heart button as well that you see there to indicate that you like the show, so I can get my like game strong, masculine and strong. Or you can leave your comments below the streaming video here on the Facebook page as well. What's going on this weekend? Renee, I saw you posted something about a food truck thing going on somewhere. Where is that? Is it going to be, is it going to be tacos? Because that's going to be like the double whammy. Like, my man said if Hillary win, it's going to be taco trucks on every corner. Like, that's really the only reason I wanted her to win, if I keep it real with y'all. But now, if it's going to happen anyway, maybe. Go Trump. Nah, yes, screw that dude, man. Upside the wall, man, with the most AIDS-filled penis possible. I swear it, man. So anyway, my man, I'm getting back to what I was talking about. Let me pull myself together here. That's what takes so damn long. Being silly all the damn time. Let me straighten up the flower right here. So he says, continuing what he's talking about, Sage Steele from ESPN blaming black folks for the problems that black people are having in this country. I didn't see that. I didn't read that at all. I'm reading a lot of vitriol in this, though. He says Steele refuses to speak on her white husband and his mother's ancestors are a part of the reason we are in the situation we are in. Well, I don't think it was in the context of what she was already talking about, though. Like, she was talking about people coming at her and her not being black enough. You know what I mean? And I'm going to continue to ask this question to you guys. And if you're in my chat room or if you're listening to the show, feel free to chime in. Like if she did, like, what then? Like, what happens then? If in her piece, in her tweet or her Facebook, she writes, and by the way, let me not let this pass. My husband, his great-great-grandmama, he owns some, grandmama and granddaddy own some of y'all. You know what I mean? Like, at what point is that gonna, is that gonna make you feel better about what she said? I don't believe it would have, because like I said, the tenor and the temperature of this piece is like real crazy. Like this part. Listen to this part right here, and it's coming to an end here. ESPN has a lot of outstanding black women at their network who are proud in big bold letters of being black that I suggest you continue to support because they deserve. Don't support the one who is trying so hard to let you know she isn't. Like, if that sounds like something that somebody's being objective about or being an adult about, that sounds like someone who has some sort of personal axe to grind against this person. Because apparently she's the only one. Everybody else walking around with big afro puffs and black gloves on with their fists in the damn air all the time over there at ESPN. Is what I'm, I guess, supposed to believe. And then finally, he ends everything with talking about her selling her soul for praise. What? No, it's supposed to be sold your soul for praise, not praised from the oppressor. That's way deep to me, dude. Like, I don't believe in souls and all that, but I know what he's saying. It's like, that she's owned. And again, let me point out, this is talking to him. This is a speech from a man who is his own boss. So, like, sometimes I look at people and I'm like, man, the stuff that people got to go through to keep their gig, you know what I mean? But I look at it with more of an understanding tone. Not like, damn, cuz I don't know when it's going to be my turn to be somebody's employee again. I was fortunate that I was mentored by someone who told me, man, that until radio can be your career, it has to be treated as your hobby and you need to have something else going on for you. And I was able to learn some skills that I was able to parlay into a money-making venture. But if I'm not that dude, and I'm somebody who got to work for somebody else, come on, man. All y'all understand? You got to make certain compromises. A lot of times to enjoy the fruits of your labor and to continue to get those checks that you're getting. But in this case, he's talking about this young woman. And I know people who know her and who've met her. They talk about her in a totally different light, which they probably would if they like her, you know what I mean? But I've heard people only talk about this woman about her humility, the way she works, how she waited her turn. All those things, man. And like this one cat for whatever reason, man, he's going like real, real hard. This ain't even just like I disagree with you. This is like, don't support her. She sold her soul. That's some like, you know what I mean? Like, we gonna start breaking down verbiage and words. Again, you guys tell me, man. am I? Because I know I have a tendency to be off base with certain things when it comes to race relations and all that kind of stuff. I don't really consider myself someone who just, thinks along the already beaten path. So, if there's a conversation to be had, I'm always willing to have it. Speaking of having conversation, no, this is no way of a segue, but the question of the day is brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com, and the question of the day is, why is it that you tend to have your best thoughts and ideas while dropping the deuce? Are you taking a dookie, or while you taking a shower or something? Why is that? Because it happens to me all the time. Like, some of my best ideas, like, I get pissed off when I don't have my phone and I'm sitting on the throne. No rhyme intended. Not because I want to see what's going on Facebook. I don't care. I want, when I had that thought about, man, I want to talk about this on the show tomorrow or tonight or whatever, I want to be able to, type it out or jot it down real quick on my phone so I don't forget it, because, I've experienced many a head injury in my day, head-to-head combat, couple concussions. These things don't stick all the time. So, yeah, I want to be able to, come back with my comeback, with my good idea. So, yeah, that's the question of the day, man. Why is it? Or do you guys also? Everybody being quiet because apparently nobody do deuce. Like, I'm the only one that drops a deuce on I'm a very regular human being. Like, I had this bowl. It ain't even here right now. I already took it downstairs. I eat like these huge salads sometimes at night. So the next morning it's vainglorious in the morning, because ain't no showering before that. Like, hell no. Baby wipes ain't gonna, what they call it? They're not baby wipes. My wife keep them wet wipes in the bathroom too. Nah, you need a whole shower, like a racist, like 1960s, like fire hose shower after I get through with that salad dookie in the morning. Please believe. Most people keep that such information to them. Come on, man, we family, man, whatever. Like, at this point, hey, y'all ain't ever have all my other business. Shoot, screw you guys now. Yeah, I take a deuce. I'm assuming if you guys are walking around amongst the living, you do too. Anyway, so moving on to the second part of this situation. I mentioned that it was one of the first things I saw this morning when I turned my phone on, or not turned my phone on, but when I looked at my phone on Facebook. So then my comment was, because it was like, she got her feet up in the coon train or something like that. And I was like, that's the first thing always, man? I'm asking this question like, that's the first thing? Coon this, Tom that? Like, everybody just run to be a part of their own little tribe? So then, and like, I'm so oblivious to so much of this stuff, this social media stuff. I always think that my man, my MFer Big L, chiming in, of course, taking a deuce, best time to think. You know what I mean? Especially if you live with folks too now. I want to talk to you, and yeah, man, you get up in that joint, and then, like the bathroom, like our bathroom is like the bathroom. It has like the tub and the shower, but then it has like the piss closet, as we call it, where the bathroom, there's another room, little small room with the toilet in it. So you get to close two doors if you want to, and be totally isolated and just, be with yourself and your thoughts, man. You know what I mean? So anyway, the Facebook post that I got I didn't get drawn into it, but I saw it. I woke up kind of attitudinal. I was like, I'm going to say something. And then this barrage of just total ignorance just started coming at me, man. It was just the weirdest thing ever. I was, called a coon or whatever. You know what I mean? Talking about I'm defending her. I don't know this woman. There's nothing to defend. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have heard me speak about this. Like, when people want to say something, they should be able to. And especially when someone's talking about their experience. I'm talking on this microphone right now. Big L, Renee, I am no doses in this piece. A lot of times, the homie Peter Quill's in here, my man Matt. You know what I mean? A lot of us, right? And I'm sure we all have similar experiences, but we all also have very, very different ones. And it doesn't make Big L's experience at anything better than mine. It just makes it his story. The same way Sage Steele experiencing certain things, certain levels of vitriol because she's married to a white man. Because, and her mom experienced certain levels of vitriol because she chose to go against the social norm and marry a black man. What's that movie coming out here in just a second? Loving. Here's the other thing about that too. Before you go watch the movie, because I know a lot of y'all gonna watch it, and I think you should. Read the story first, man, because and then don't go see the movie and be like, man, that ain't what happened. No, they're not gonna tell the damn story verbatim. It's supposed to have entertainment value and all those kind of things. It ain't a documentary. But like before you go see a movie like that, straight up, man, like check the story out, man. It's a very, very compelling story, man. Because I remember when I first saw it, I thought like, how is this white boy and this white and this black girl? How did they fall in love? Like, is it a trick or something? But you end up finding out, spoiler alert, finding out that they grew up together on the same damn farm from kids. And that their love started as very small children. And then it grew to an adult love. And then the color didn't matter. That's why I always tell you guys about lying to children, man. Like, children ain't born with a lot of this foolishness that they have in them as adults. Christmas and Santa and all this kind of craziness. Stop lying to kids, man. You know what I mean? Stop. Because you see when you don't, what happens, man? These two people grow up and just say, you know what? I love you. I love you. What? You mean we're different colors? Right? So, yeah, it's called Loving, I think is the name of the movie. But that's their experience. Sage Steele has another experience. And it doesn't discount. And I think that's kind of the attitude sometimes that people feel like someone else's experience discounts mine. So if you talk about your white mom, being harassed, then I got to combat that with the time I got pulled over by the white police. No, those are two mutually exclusive experiences that have an opportunity to hurt each person equally. Like, you're not more hurt than she is. Or you can't make that call that your experience hurt you more than hers hurt her. And then there's that whole attitude of she don't want to be black. Tell you something, man. That's been one of those things, man, that's one of those things that has been put in play by people who don't look like me. The need for some black people to pass. We talked about earlier, people that were not light enough to be accepted by white people, but not dark enough to be considered to be accepted by black people. But then you have some black people that are light enough that they could quote unquote pass. And we'll look at that, and it was looked upon as though, man, look at them selling out ass, selling. But I always tell you guys to do this: put things in the perspective, in the proper perspective, in context. When you were living in a situation as a slave or former slave, when you're put in a situation in this country where the one paramount thing on your mind daily is survival, and how can I achieve that? That's what we're talking about. So when we come at people with, oh, you house nigga, man, this, that, and the other, again, that's more trickery and foolery, man. That trick to make the people in the field, the Africans in the field, feel like that the people in the house had something they ain't have. Meanwhile, the people in the house feeling like the Africans in the field had something they ain't have. And you say to me, well, what the hell are you talking about? Glad you asked. What's that show that I'm always talking about, Renee? The one that John Legend, Underground. There was something said in that really made me say, oh, damn, she's right. There were two ladies speaking. One was a field hand. The other one was a house hand. And the lady from the house said, I envy you so much. And in the field, they looked at her like, are you damn crazy? She's like, yeah, because master can only work you from sun up to sundown. Then you go get to have some semblance of a family life with your baby and your husband. But me, I'm here all the time. I'm in this house all the time I'm on call every time he need me for anything. And we ain't just talking about make me a sandwich either. Anytime he ready to bend her over and do his business with her, it's going down. So in all, instead of looking at, oh, that's the house nigga, that's the field nigga, ain't now one of them had no freedom. They was all being persecuted. But see, that mentality has permeated throughout time till right now. We still in 2016 with that same damn mentality. That, y'all, she thinks she better than me. She ain't say that. That woman proclaimed her love for her babies, her kids, and her parents. Something that I would think most people would do. But apparently it's a problem because the babies she's talking about are biracial. The husband that she's talking about is white, and one of the parents that she's referring to is also white. So then it becomes an issue and a problem. See why this is why I don't just dive in on things because they black. You know what I mean? Like, you supposed to feel this way because you black. You a lie. You a lie. I don't belong to the cult of likability. I'm very fine with people not liking me for the way I think about things. Because the one thing that I'm going to go to bed knowing is that I at least thought about the thing. I wasn't just born into a certain perspective. You feel me? Like, the color of my skin is what it is. But that doesn't mean that I can't. Remember when folks got pissed at Kobe? Because he said one of the most rational things that any human being that's rational could hear. He said, I'm not going to choose a side just because of the color of my skin. Give me the information, and then I'll choose sides. And then people turn that all the way around to, see, Kobe think George Zimmerman was right. Wait, what? How did you get that from that? To a man saying, I need all the information possible before I can give an informed opinion. See, that's the anti-social media thought. This is not, let me just see a tweet from one of my followers and then go off. That's an idiot's way of thinking. Those are people who are easily fooled and swayed and influenced. But of course, I'm not the right one to say that. You know what I mean? That's why, like, today, man, when that stuff was going on Facebook, I was like, man, y'all got it, man. Y'all good. You know what I mean? You good. You know, ask yourself, though, and this is what I left him with. Well, kind of. I may make some more comments after this, but I tried to leave him on, like, just ask yourself, man. Ask yourself what benefit are you being to the community that you think you're so staunchly defending? What benefit are you being into the community by calling people coons and toms and all that? Did that make you feel better? Because part of my thing every day, and I try to do it more and more now than I ever have. The older I get, it's like, you know, what's my part in all this? What can I do to help? You know what I mean? Like, how many dudes as you see tweeting or Facebook posting about becoming a volunteer, tutoring some black kid who can't get the extra help at home because his mom got to work 3 jobs, being a big brother or a big sister. You don't see people bragging about that, but you know what people are quick to do? Try to proclaim that they have more blackness than you. So today when I call one of the dudes, like, all right, man, I feel you. You the super black man. You know what I mean? My dude was like, yeah, I am. If I am super, I was like, only an idiot would think that's a compliment, because there's no such thing. You see what I'm saying? There are no levels to this thing, man. But as long as the white people in power can continue to make me and you and anybody else think that way, guess who doesn't win? Not your black ass. You know what I mean? And if that's what it's all about, then you got to find yourself a better way than coon and Tom and all that. My man Big L, he's in the chat room right now. You guys can join him in the chat room if you want to. Just go to Spreaker.com if you're not already there. The Spreaker app. And, of course, to the onemicwithbigmike.com website and click on that little thought bubble you see on the streaming audio player. It'll get you right up in this live interactive chat room. The homie Big L says, I'm done with punk ass Stephen A. Smith. Been there, homie. I've been there. Until he get on what? Oh, until he get on Whites the same way. I'm down with Skip and Shannon undefeated. Let me say something about that show. I haven't watched it at all. But sometimes in media, dumb luck is your friend. You know what I mean? Like, that show kicked off like right around that time where it's not good luck, but the Alton Sterling and the Philando Castile thing happened. It kicked off right around that. And the things that I have seen from the show, the little clips that people put on Facebook, I think Shannon Sharp spoke very eloquently about it. You know what I mean? And it just hit in a place where it was able to attract, like Big L. They attract those black eyes to say, all right, damn, this dude, because black folks, we love when people keep it real. I hate that slogan. I hate that statement so much when it comes to black people, man. Like the Dave Chappelle skit is one of the most, it's the funniest but most apropos thing in black culture. I'm about to keep it real. You know what I mean? No, don't do that. Just be a normal human being. You know what I mean? I can't stand when people do that with me. Oh man, Big Mike, he keep it real. No, I'm just keeping it me. I don't even know what that means. So, but anyway, all joking aside, I think the situation with that show where it hit, of course, they couldn't anticipate those young men being murdered and all that kind of stuff. But it hit in a place, and then they had the right guy, this country ass, backwood. If you ever get a chance to see, what is it, Renee? That show that I don't think it's that show on NFL Network, but the profile of Shannon Sharp before he went to the Hall of Fame, where he grew up. My God. Oh my God. You talking about being poor and country? Man, hell no. Hell no. So when you get this dude talking about race stuff and allowing him to speak, yeah, it's gonna come out pretty damn raw. And the stuff that I've heard, it's come out that way. You feel me? Hell yeah. So yeah, it hit at the right spot. Now I think they're doing hella well, man. And that whole, like the what is the thing with Stephen A. Smith? First Take situation. Yeah, I've been out of that. I think it is a football life though, Renee. Now that you put the name up on here, I couldn't think of the name. I think it is the Shannon Sharp Football Life. Out freaking standing. Like this dude had like learning disabilities and all kind of stuff, man. Like I like when dudes like just overcome stuff, just work. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Like just work and then let the results happen. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the mantra of my show. Oh, speaking of working, before I move on with this, I did post yesterday on Facebook and on my Instagram at One Mic with Big Mike. We looking for an intern or two to help out with the show. So anybody listening right now, if you know someone who's interested in the broadcast media field and they can deal with this level of ignorance that you're dealing with now. Plus, of course, I bring with me like 15 years of broadcast experience. So I'm not just some dude that went and bought a microphone, turned it on, and was like, you know what, let's go. I've been trained formally and informally. I've been mentored by some of the best who I feel are the best. And I've also, when I was done with college, I went to broadcasting school. I have a broadcasting degree, all that stuff. So if anybody who want to learn some of the ins and outs, not all of them because I don't know all of them, but some of the ins and outs of this business, there will be no travel. And while you got to come to my crib and none of that craziness, just, have a phone, internet access, know about social media enough. If you got any audio, video editing skills, those come in handy as well. If not, I can teach you those type of things, whatever, without even being in front of you. You feel me? It is 2016, so we can take advantage of technology. So if you know anybody, just tell them to send me an email, man, and Renee and I we'll figure this out. As things move forward. Mike at onemicwithbigmike.com. You can tell them to hook that up real quick. I'm gonna try to wrap this up here, man. There was so much stuff. I kept thinking of things and just kept writing, things, adding to my notes. Last thing I want to talk about though about this is that need for us as black people to have other black people disassociate themselves with parts of who they are. And not even realizing where that comes from. Racist white people put that in you. That whole concept of if you got a drop of black blood in you, then you're a nigger. That came from slave owners. Because you want to know why? There's no way to measure that. Yeah, you can go to ancestry.com and they can give you this little DNA, whatever. But they'll even tell you if you read the fine print that is not all that accurate. DNA gets deteriorated, all those things happen. So if you go far back enough, it has to stop somewhere, and then you start guessing. But that whole concept, that's not a concept that Africans brought with them to this country. All it was that so that white men could justify raping black women and then selling their babies as slaves because they were black, of course. So when you guys start looking at people like Sage Steele and and Tiger Woods and being mad because they embrace the other side of who they are. And they embrace it just as much as they embrace the black side. And your reason for being mad is because, well, in America says you black. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn what America says? This woman says she's biracial. You know why? Because she loved her mama and her daddy. It was funny how that kid Jesse Williams gave that empowering speech at the, what was it? The NAA, the NAACP Awards. I was gonna say NCAA. I was gonna correct myself and say it wrong. And part of the praise that he got was through his mom. His mom allowed him to become this. His white mom allowed him to become this strong black man. And I got some heat from this on social media too, because I was like, well, what if his mom just allowed him to become a decent human, and then the other parts of it came out of his own curiosity? Because like Colin Kaepernick, his black dad and his white mama gave him away, and 2 white people raised him. He seems to be pretty pro-black. He seems to have a pretty good understanding of his blackness without dissing his adopted parents. Because if anybody was there to be dissed, going back to what Rob Littal was talking about, is his damn daddy. Now, I don't know the circumstances behind why he was given up for adoption, just that he was given up for adoption. So next time you look at somebody that's mixed and they're embracing both sides of their heritage, whatever it may be, the next time you fix your mouth to say, in America, you a black person, just understand what you're doing is you spewing slave owner propaganda. That's all you doing, man. That's not a real thing. 1 drop of blood in you is not a real thing. You can't quantify that. Some backwoods hick slave owner made that up. And if you continue to be stupid about it and ignorant about it, if you continue to be ignorant about it, eventually you will be stupid about it. It's One Mic with Big Mike. We got, Renee, you and god dang, I am no dose. We got 1 segment to go. I wasn't even supposed to be here this damn long. I want to come back, talk about what happened last night with Louisville. What's going to happen this weekend in the NFL, as well as the NBA and some other college football stuff. We're going to do it next on the One Mic with Big Mike show, heard right here on Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app, as well as on TuneIn, and, of course, the OneMicWithBigMike.com website.
Well, I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at OneMicWithBigMike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
Hey everyone. Let's all stop what we're doing right now and take a moment. That felt good, huh? Just like that, we had a nice special sort of moment together. Of course, they don't all need to be quiet moments to be special. They could be loud moments, goofy moments, sporty moments, dorky moments. Moments where we talk or walk or just hang out. It doesn't really matter. They all count. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. Sounds like somebody agrees. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Today, call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
And now back to One Mic with Big Mike.
And here we go!
Ooh. Oh, that was Trigger Trey. Welcome back to the One Mic with Big Mike show here on Spreaker. We got 1 segment to go in the week. We're about to get up out of here. Checking out the Hawks. I think the Hawks are banging the damn Hornets out, too, up there in Charlotte. Can't really see what the score is. I'm heard on Spreaker.com, the Spreaker app. Tune in. And of course, the OneMicWithBigMike.com website. If you want to check out the show or any shows that you may have missed, they're all on demand on all 4 of those outlets, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and of course YouTube, where you can get the audio and the video versions of the show. The video is streaming right now on Facebook.com/One Mic with Big Mike. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube and comment on. Appreciate the folks who comment on the YouTube videos too. I always make sure I comment back, or not reply back or whatever. But also make sure you subscribe to the situation and to the iTunes, and follow me on Google Play and Stitcher and iHeartRadio and all those good things. We're trying to build this thing. It's a grassroots movement. The understanding being, it ain't for everybody. I mean, everybody ain't really up on this this brand of ignorance. Of course, Big L is, and I am No Dose is, and for whatever reason, Renee usually seems to be she seems to be a very a sensible person, but for whatever reason, man, every day she comes back from more of this ignorance. I don't know why. I'm glad she does, but it's one of those mysteries of the world. You know what I mean? It's like, why when you eat corn, it come out the same way it went in? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just one of those mysteries, ain't it? Anyway. Let's talk last night real quick. Let's talk about Thursday night. What happened in the world of college football last night? Yeah, if you guys didn't see it, and I don't blame you for not seeing the whole thing, because I didn't see it. I tell you guys all the time, I'm not watching no badass football or basketball or sports in general. Louisville took their ass late in the season, late out of conference game, to take on Houston. You figure, how the hell is that happening? Most of these cats are kind of just, they just kind of like trying to cruise on in to these final rankings. Well, apparently it was a deal for them. Like, if you're going to leave the the AAC and go to the ACC, yeah, we got to do this home and home thing. You got to come back and play one of these schools. So they picked Houston. That was a terrible choice. That was a terrible choice, because last night they got it pushed all the way in. I think it was 30. They won it 30-0 at halftime. This is when, and Lamar Jackson played, if you didn't get a chance. He actually played, and it was 30-0. They lost the fumble, opening kickoff, boom, immediately. First play, 7 points, or 6 points, then the extra point. They didn't get their first touchdown, Louisville, until the second half. Let me give you guys the standings real quick, the college football playoff standings, and tell you how everything is probably about to effing shake out for these cats. Where the hell are my rankings at? Oh, man. But anyway, the one thing I saw last night with the Houston squad, they did what people figured out you should do with Michael Vick back in the day. Like, it used to be a thought that what you would do with Michael Vick was what they call muddle rush. Like, keep everybody in front of him. He wasn't that accurate a passer, so you keep everybody in front of him, and you allow him to throw the football, and if he tries to run, you corral him. Well, people for the last few weeks, if you guys have been watching Louisville for the last couple of weeks, people have been employing that technique against Lamar Jackson. But that kid is way fat. Like, they didn't do this in college for Mike Vick, by the way. They did it in the pros, where they're some real-ass athletes and not children. And what they were finding out was that this dude was, like, breaking the contain and still, like, just illing out on folks in the secondary, and it wasn't working. So what they did is what people in the pros figured out they need to do against Michael Vick. Take advantage of the fact that he doesn't throw the ball that accurately and speed up his process. Don't let his ass sit back there and bounce around and wait for a dude to clear zones. And if it doesn't happen, just take off running and start. You call yourself putting a 250-pound linebacker to spy on him. Good luck. Yeah, Tom Herman and the boys just went after this kid. The other thing that happened last night, and I heard Tom Herman on the Dan Patrick show today, I think it was. I think it was the Dan Patrick show. Yeah, he was talking about how they hadn't been healthy. I know many of us, me included, hadn't been paying no damn attention to Houston. It was almost like a foregone conclusion that, all right, Tommy, Coach Strong in Texas is going to get his ass fired, and this kid this guy from Houston is going to end up being the coach. We'll just wait to pay attention to him when he get down there. But didn't happen. Tom Herman. It didn't happen that way. And I realize the team has been decimated by injuries, and this is the first time in 2 months they've had everybody back on that squad. And Louisville, yeah, they caught a brick. got caught slipping. So that whole deal, man, people want to see. I'm gonna bring this up to my man Ben on Monday. People want to see Lamar Jackson against Alabama. Well, I mean now, I don't know about now, because if Houston gonna do that to you, yeah, good effing luck with this Alabama squad. Alabama plays somebody like Tennessee, Chattanooga, or something this weekend. Where the hell am I? Did I not save the rankings, man? I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. You guys know who 1 through 4 was. Louisville was on the outside at 5. They're going to drop the hell out of there. A couple of sneaky teams. Real quick, I do have this thing, though, with the worst case, best case scenarios coming out of college football this weekend, because I want to move on to the NFL real quick. That damn time I talk about race, it just takes way longer than it's like in real life. It's like, yeah, like getting through race, man, it just takes so much damn longer than it would than any other thing would. You can't just move on from it. I cannot find this damn thing that says the best and worst case scenario. Something happened today. See, what's supposed to happen, I use this program that's supposed to sync up all my notes between both of my computers, and for whatever reason, that didn't happen today. So everything is all screwed up. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, for whatever reason, the notes that I needed, the notes that I'm looking for right now, they're not where I need. They're not. Oh, yeah, they're not where I need to be. That sucks, man. That's what happened when you don't check, man. I'm ashamed about that. That's what happened when you don't check. Anyway, as far as this weekend goes, let me see if I even got that. Damn it. The game that you want to check out this weekend. Excuse me. And by the way, I don't think the Heisman is going to be in any type of, like, because there's no number 2, really. Like, maybe Jabril Peppers could do something special. Alabama, the kid, Jalen Hurts, could do something special. Maybe. But the trophy is Lamar Jackson's, man. Only because there's no number 2. That kid, Deshaun Watson, ain't really do what people expected him to do. Like, everybody just forgotten about Christian McCaffrey. They keep losing. They probably lost 2 games. I'm about to say they keep losing. They probably lost 2 or 3 games. It's funny how that works in college football. It's like you're a bum-ass team if you lose 3 games. These are 18 and 19-year-olds, and if they ain't perfect, it's like, you suck. God, man, is that the world we live in? Anyway, Florida and LSU, they got to play that makeup game. Oh, they got to play that makeup game that got washed out by Hurricane Matthew. So Florida's going to go down to LSU. Florida needs this effing game, too, to win the East. And now here they are in the same situation as Louisville. They got a ranked team. Houston wasn't ranked, but it was a good team late in the season while Alabama's across the way playing freaking Chattanooga or some damn body. You got Ohio State, Michigan State. That Michigan State squad has been trash all year. But if you're looking for one of those like upset picks, maybe Mike D'Antoni gets his guys to play above their heads. They are actually playing at home, so I'm always talking about that emotional immaturity. 18, 19-year-old kids, man, they can find themselves getting too amped for a game, or in the case of Louisville yesterday, not getting amped enough for a big game, and end up laying a damn egg, assuming that they can just roll out, get off the bus and beat this team. I'm not in no way, shape, or form am I pumping this game up. I'm just saying. You got number 7 Wisconsin against Purdue. The only reason this is another one of those upset games that could affect a lot of things, because Wisconsin still in their half of the Big Ten got a chance to play for the Big Ten championship against Ohio State or Michigan, or is it just Michigan? Because Ohio State lost to Penn State. Yeah, I think it's Ohio State or Michigan. If Ohio State beats Michigan, they play for the championship. I think that's how it's going to work out. So they have a chance on beating whoever they face and being a 2-loss team in the college football playoffs. I love that. Wisconsin, if you hadn't seen them play this year, get familiar, because then you're going to be pissed off when they show up in the Final Four like, oh, I don't want to see no damn Wisconsin. Well, that's what it is. You know what I mean? Correction, MFer. Oh, Renee, you don't let me down at all. And also, who is this dude? Do I need to be, just keep me on speed dial, Renee. I got the Glock 40 right here in front of me now. If you ever act up, I'm just saying. Just let him know. Can he hear this, dude? Yeah, let him know. You got Washington State, in Colorado. Another sneaky ass matchup, man. These dudes, Colorado sitting there at number 10 all of a sudden. MF ain't been to a bowl game since 2007. All of a sudden now he's sitting there at number 10. About to, if they can win out, I think USC is like one game behind them. They can go play for the Pac-12 championship and maybe sneak into the Final Four, maybe. I don't know. Missouri and Tennessee. Yeah, Missouri's trash as well. They got to go to Tennessee. Tennessee is in the SEC East, and somebody has to win it. So between them and Florida this weekend, I think we'll get a better picture of how that whole thing. What team is going to be the sacrificial SEC East lamb going into the damn SEC championship in Atlanta. So you might want to check out Missouri at Tennessee at 3:30. All those other games are at noon that I mentioned earlier. I think number 9, Oklahoma and West Virginia. West Virginia's sitting there at 1 loss. The only problem with these two teams, Baker Mayfield has been playing better, and he's leading the league and the nation passer rate and all this kind of stuff. But the problem with them is if you're the selection committee, they ain't got but one win. No, sorry. Neither team has a win over the top 25 all damn year. This will be the first time either team beats a top 25 team, only because they're playing each other. Yeah, USC needs help. They need Colorado. They need Colorado to lose for them to get themselves into the SEC championship. The SEC, that'll be a feat for USC to play in the SEC championship, to play in the Pac-12 championship. I hadn't seen this West Virginia squad all year, but I've heard people talk about this is a team in the the Big 12. What the hell are they in? The Big 12 that actually plays defense. Apparently, they held Texas Tech to 17 and TCU to 10 and Texas to 20. These high-powered teams. So I think this is a game that I'm gonna check out at 8 o'clock. Oklahoma and West Virginia. You see this kid Samaje Perine, Joe Mixon. They got some talent over there in Oklahoma, so it should be a game. But I can't stomach a lot of Big 12 football because at some point, like, the only thing that's going to attract me to this game is that they're telling me that somebody's going to play some defense a little bit. If I get to this thing and it's like 30-30 at halftime, I'm out. That ain't entertaining for me, cuz Arena League football ain't entertaining for me. I need you to stop somebody at some point. Make a play. Tackle some damn body. And I think that's it. Oh, mentioning USC. I am no-do just mentioned USC. Yeah, they got UCLA rivalry game. They're at UCLA. You know what I mean? Of course, Jim Moore's the kid. What's his name? Josh Rosen. Busted his damn shoulder or something up. He's out for the season. So they've been going with a backup for some weeks now. But again, it's another rivalry game, and anything can happen, especially you got these kids, emotional immaturity, going on the road, to play in a hostile environment. So there's some college football to watch. Now, if you got something better to do, I wouldn't suggest that you not do it, because it ain't, what I mean? It ain't going to be nothing earth-shattering. But yeah, there's some college football to watch. I'm going to be sitting my ass around watching it because, of course, I got to be able to come back and talk about it on Monday. But, there's some stuff for you guys, too. Shout out to you. I am no dose. I don't know if did I mention this? My man texted the text line on Saturday, which, what brings up a better point too. That look, that text number, whenever you want to. I already told you guys, Cass texting me pictures of them going fishing. You know what I mean? Critiques on the show. Whenever, I just appreciate you guys thinking of the show when it's not actually on. I appreciate also you thinking of it when it's on too. But yeah, if you guys want to text that line. Now, I'll answer it on Monday on the show, but yeah, shout out to you. I am no dough. That was a good look. He texted me about the upsets last week that I don't want to say I called it, but I just was like, look, that's the only thing you're going to get out of this weekend, and probably got more than you bargained for. Last night, the Panthers and the Saints played an alleged football game. But the thing that's coming out of that to me, the only thing that's came out of that game to me, because they both teams is trash and they ain't going nowhere. Those Thursday night games got to go. Like, if you one of those people who can't, formulate two thoughts at the same time or walk and chew bubblegum, meaning you can't, have basketball season going on when football season's going on, that's your problem. I had basketball last night. It wasn't particularly good basketball. It was that upstart 76ers squad and that upstart Timberwolves squad. But here's the thing, though. The game wasn't good, but the one thing you're getting to see the young talent in the NBA. And there's this renaissance going on in the NBA, and it has for years. Like, back in the day where people used to talk about, like, it felt like every team had a star, had a name. This is before, like, social media and all that. You knew, even out in freaking Denver, you knew who Alex English was. You knew who Mark Aguirre was in Dallas. They were names in places. What's the kid's name? Rolando Blackman, and in other places than where you lived. Even though you couldn't see NBA League Pass and all those kind of things. Well, the league, it's at that place again, man. You can turn on the 76ers and say, man, I want to check out and see what this kid Joel Embiid is all about. I can turn on the Timberwolves, and Karl Anthony Towns is a monster. Plain and simple. The Pelicans got, Ant Davis here in Atlanta. Whatever you think about Dwight Howard is still a solid basketball player. And as a basketball fan, the team in and of itself and the style of play that they have is an attractive thing. I think the NBA is at a very good place. So if you last night was like, oh man, I gotta watch this Thursday night football game, miss me with the bull. These Thursday night games are trash, man. And to illuminate the point that I'm getting to, I'm saying all this to illuminate the point that I'm getting to, is that, man, dudes is getting their ass knocked out. Every other play, somebody laying on the ground because they hurt. These cats just played on Sunday. They just was in 1 million car wrecks on Sunday. You want to get into another 1 million on Thursday? They can go ahead. They can miss me with that. You saw Luke Kuechly, crying. But you know what that is, though? I don't know if you guys seen those commercials with Danny Glover. Danny Glover talks about that. You know who else is a part of that? Barry Sanders. Oh, maybe we should try to get Barry Sanders, Renee. I've gotten Thurman Thomas before by just bugging the hell out of him. Like, yeah, he messed around when we were with the Sports King and followed us back. Yep, straight DM. Hey, Thurman, what about this weekend? Can you come on the show? And then finally he was like, man, damn it. All right. And then he had a good time. He hit us back after the interview and was like, that was cool. So, yeah, maybe we get Barry Sanders because he's a part of this organization. They talk about this condition that you get from repeated head injuries, that you can't control your emotions. Like, you just be, like, crying or you just be laughing for no damn reason. Last night you saw Luke Kuechly, man, just, like, hell, this big, tough, thick-neck white boy just, like, crying like, like that cry, like when your mama tell you, I'm going to give you something to cry about, like that cry he was doing. Like that one. Yeah, cuz. But that's real. Got his ass knocked out. His damn brain was scrambled. So, yeah, they can miss me with the Thursday night situation. We got basketball now, so I don't really need the NBA 4 nights a week or whatever the hell it is. I ain't got to have it. What else do I have for the NBA before I move on? Where was I? Was I in the NBA? Or did I just, like, seamlessly transition to the NBA? Did y'all see this thing where Michael Jordan went down to Oklahoma City to induct my man Russ into the Oklahoma City Hall of Fame? Like, everything about that sentence that I just spoke was so weird, wasn't it? Michael Jordan, owner of the Charlotte Hornets, took his ass to Oklahoma City, the Thunder, to induct Russell Westbrook, who is, by the way, still playing, into the Oklahoma City Hall of Fame. Yeah, everything about that sentence sounds so stupid. And it really happened, though. And while he was inducting him, he went on ahead and, like, poked a little something at Kevin Durant. He wanted to big up Russ for his loyalty to the franchise. And I told you guys this before, man. Like, the move is what it was. Other people got to slow down with all that loyalty stuff, man. Because, like, when it's time for Russ to go, ain't gonna be no loyalty. He gonna have his ass out the door again. Yeah, I know those is correct. Russ is also a brand Jordan guy, and apparently I saw an article the other day. They about to try to hitch the wagon to this dude. Because outside of the actual Air Jordans, the Jordan brand needs a little bit of a lift. These kids run around here. You see these kids in the street, they got Under Armour on. James Harden got his big Adidas deal. Like, the Jordan brand has some actual competition right now. Nike as well is kind of a competitor. Although it's under the umbrella, it's still, if I'm the one who owns Jordan, I kind of want to beat him. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Russ is the guy who I think they're going to try to hitch the wagon to. But, my man Mike is down there talking about how, he's loyal here. Here's the deal, homie. My man he only added 1 year to his deal. So that's kind of like, to me, it's a wait and see type situation. It's like, yeah, I ain't going to bail yet. But let's see what you can do more so than Enes Kanter and Victor Oladipo Let's see what's happening with these drafts coming up. Because, I mean, I can see where he would be. Okay, you did it before. You did, Kevin Durant. You did me, if I'm Russ, and you did James Harden back-to-back years, as well as Serge Ibaka. 4 all-star type players drafting. So you can kind of trust the system. Was it Sam Presti as a GM and how they put together teams. So if you Russ, you be like, all right, I'm going to hold up for a minute. Let me see what else is going on around the league as well in the Eastern Conference. Let me see what's happening with these Lakers. The Lakers seem to got they things situated. So, the possibility of him possibly going home to that situation is is something else. But there is that Clipper situation, and who knows how much longer Chris Paul got on his back. So there's some things for Russ to kind of like keep his eye on. But let's not act like he signed like a 20-year extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Y'all could be sitting around here burning 0 jerseys here in about another year or something. And so let's not get it twisted. The only thing about that whole situation is that freaking Oklahoma City is just not all the way Oklahoma City yet. Because that team isn't supposed to be good. Not in that market. There's no way they should be good ever. Because as far as free agents go, ain't nobody checking for that. They've been masterful at drafting, like high-level, all-star, all-NBA talent. But then eventually that all-NBA talent, 2 of them had to go. They traded them in Harden and Ibaka. Kevin Durant decided, he wanted to go get his 28 points easier than at the end of every shot clock. And then there's Russ. Russ is he's obstinate that way. He plays emotionally and very obstinately, like the dude that says, you can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me I can't do this. And he believes that he can go out there and push this team to some sort of championship level. But as you saw, that hot start that team started off at, it fizzled because he's still a human being. And it's very hard for a fire that burns that hot to burn for very, very long. There's going to be help needed. And in this extra year, he's going to figure it out. So don't be surprised. Don't want nobody looking crazy. Like, I thought Russ was loyal. Yeah, keep thinking that. Yeah, you find out, you mess around and see this dude playing for somewhere else because he's going to realize the same thing Kevin Durant realized. Look, man, it's hard. You know what I mean? And I want things to be not easy, but easier. You know what I mean? Because you still got to go out there and play and stay healthy and all those things. So the people who's like, yeah, man, he just going somewhere so it'll be easy. They got to play professional athletes every night. Ain't nothing easy about it. It's just not as hard as it was. I'm a big time Russ guy. I love watching that dude play basketball, man. I do. I love watching him play basketball. And I love it more when he's in the situation he's in now. When he's like, it's me against everybody. Watch me prove y'all wrong. I don't think he's going to do it. I just like watching it happen. You know what I mean? Big L says L.A. is his new home. L.A. where? Clippers or the Lakers? I think it's more of a chance he ends with the Clippers because Chris Paul's got a contract coming up pretty soon, doesn't he? And if you can make that trade in a heartbeat, yeah, because Paul, you guys know, there's this article on my Facebook page. Chris Paul is one of the best guards in NBA history, per the metrics. Like it's like him, Magic, and Michael Jordan or something crazy like that. Oscar, it's like him and like 4 other greats. Like Chris Paul, cold, but I didn't know that, man. Like, yeah, Chris Paul's a cold, but he's getting older, a little longer in the tooth. Maybe Russ is smarter. He's sly like a fox. He's setting the whole thing up to be like, yeah, eventually I'll be back home, but let me make sure the situation's cool first. Because it wasn't no sense for him to leave like next year and go mess with those baby Lakers and they be trash. Now they pretty cool this year. They're a fun team to watch this year. We're gonna get a chance to see him play later on tonight. They got San Antonio coming in, so that should be good. And I believe they got the Warriors like twice in the next week or so. The last time they saw them, they beat the brakes off the Warriors. So, like I say, man, the basketball is in a good place. You know what? I was going to get into this NFL stuff. Or I was talking about this NFL, these injuries and all this kind of craziness, and tell you guys what's coming up this weekend. But I'm about to run out of time, and you guys got smartphones. You want to know The Falcons ain't playing, so this is the one game out of the week that Falcons fans be paying attention to what other teams are doing, and you'll find out that the refs suck in the Pittsburgh game and the Baltimore games too. They're just not out to get the damn Falcons. You'll figure that out this week, hopefully. I don't know. I don't really have time to really delve into anything else, and because I am no-dose and Renee jinxed me, I was supposed to try to do an hour and a half. Here I am pushing 2 hours and still got like 15 freaking things on my notes to talk about. Oh, shout out to Alden Smith. Real quick before I go, shout out to Alden Smith. Homie says he's ready to come back. He applied for his reinstatement. The damn commissioner's office is like, hold on, playboy. Not yet. Oh, his weed smoking ass. Good for that dude, man. That dude's like, I won't be denied. Dog, I don't think that's your choice. I don't think, you get to pick, dude. They gonna deny or approve your ass based on what they want to do. But, good try, my man. I want you guys to enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your, what is that? You said your food truck, Renee, Big L. I am no dose, man. It's always, my man, always appreciated, man. I hope I bring a little bit of entertainment to the table when you guys are chiming in. You guys not just throwing me mercy listens. I mean, I'll take them. Ain't nobody ever turned down no mercy coochie. You figure that out after the fact. But if you guys just throwing me some mercy listens, I appreciate it. I hope not. I hope I'm, bringing something to the table as well. Everybody checking out the show on Facebook. Appreciate you guys as well. Enjoy your weekends, man. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Don't forget, if you didn't get a chance to hear the entire show, they're always on demand on Spreaker, the Spreaker app. Tune in, OneMic.com, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, to the iTunes, subscribe to or follow me on Google Play and tune in and all those places. Speaking of following me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well as on Facebook at One Mic with Big Mike. Until Monday, man. You guys be easy.